Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Matt the PokeKnight back again on the Beyond SMP. And where in our last episode, we just got the Nether portal and journeyed into the Nether. And that was over 3 weeks ago. Yeah, that's right. I made some progress off camera, and I completely forgot to record it, all of it. Not a single bit of that. Well, very little of it was recorded. Well, let me explain. So basically, after I got done recording the last episode, I went in the Nether, just figuring I'd check things out, see how things would go. And well, let's just say I got the worst possible spawn in the history of Minecraft Nether spawns. Watch this. Alright. Oh, there's a skeleton horse in here. Yeah, we're on a floating island above the lava. And when I came through, let me be clear. This part here, this cobbled deep slate, it wasn't here. So I came through, and without any reaction time, I fell straight into the lava and instantly lost everything. Which, was less than ideal. So then, determined, of course, I came back with very limited gear, and I attempted to just find a fortress or something. Yeah, that didn't go too, that didn't go too well. I essentially died multiple times in various locations. One time, I actually got all the way to the fortress, and then I got killed by a combination of blazes and other stuff. And I didn't bring the arrows. Shit. Yeah, so overall, not a great time. But as you can see, I came back from it. Oh, and that's a thing. Nether portal, it didn't link up properly, so every time I do Nether, I have to do this walk all the way back. It's not great. However, I did make progress. For one thing, I set up some farms. I got these all figured out. Got a cow farm, which is my main source of food now. Sheep farm, and I started breeding horses. And you might be wondering what all these signs mean. Well, I used a trick that I learned from one silent whisper, and it's amazing. It's awesome. It's called, the trick is, oh, there we go, got the source breed up. It's called a Supersonic Horse. So essentially, this thing is much faster than a horse should be, if I recall. And I think I actually have some faster ones. What you do is, okay, I'm gonna get a little complex here, and I may end up just editing this out of the video if I don't like my explanation. Essentially, you take two horses, and as they are about to breed, you give them the speed 2 effect. And as they breed, that affects their speed value, which horses have, I believe it's an NBT tag for. And since baby horses inherit a speed that is random based on their parents. So if both parents were jacked up on speed 2 steroids, then they would inherit to their children, their little foals, a heightened speed. And if you were to repeat this, you would gradually increase the speed of your horses until you got horses that can go insanely fast, such as this one. I think there's actually better examples of it, of Supersonic Horses, because I don't know how. I got a little unlucky on certain rolls. Apparently I didn't tame this one either. There we go. Yeah, I think this one's slightly faster, but it's just great. This, until I get an Elytra, which actually can be relatively soon if I put my mind to it, but I think I'm gonna wait a little bit. This is a great source of travel on the server, and I'll likely use it even after I get my Elytra, just due to convenience. Alright, let's head back in here. But, of course, the big thing you must be wondering is how I got all this shiny bling. Well, almost none of it came from mining. In our last episode, we built up this building, and I didn't tell you, I don't believe I told you, what was inside the building. Well, I'll tell you now. This thing houses, and hop up, an iron farm. Essentially, iron golems will spawn in here due to the beds, the bell, and villagers, and they will go into the lava. Keep in mind, this is a very bootleg iron farm. I followed no tutorial, by the way, which is something I always try to do. Oh, there you go. You can see one spawned in right now. Gets killed by the lava. And yep, drops go down the hopper, or down and through the water, into the hopper. One thing you might be noticing is a lack of a box of villagers, which is common in these farms. Well, I wanted to be smart and have my villagers on the inside the box. Now, you might be noticing this giant stretch of no villagers, and this empty slot, and my excuse for that is that lightning turning villagers into witches is the worst mechanic in the game. And prior... Oh wait, whoa. Is this X-ray? Oh, that's just cool. That could be used for like surveillance. Wonder if you shift... Okay, that's sick. Anyway. Villagers could be turned into, or can be turned into witches when lightning strikes, which is really random. But because this is an iron farm, I AFK'd here a lot, which just meant, because of course it did, there were so many opportunities that eventually lightning struck right here and right here on 2 separate occasions. I'm lucky I didn't die and lose everything. But I essentially had to kill all of these guys, which was not a good feeling. It's okay. It was just a farmer, I believe, a couple farmers, a butcher, and a couple stonemasons, and then most of my important guys survived. And then I also have discounts on these guys because of this Fletcher right here, one of the first ones I created. I reset, I think, like 50 times until I got a weakness arrow, which, side note, it might sound bad, but thanks to the resource pack on the server, which you might have noticed with the colored XP bar, there are certain things that help out. For example, you can preview all villager trades. There is a potion guide for brewing, which I really like. It's not super necessary because I memorized most potions recipes that I'll end up using, but it's nice. And I think if we come outside, you'll notice that the moon is a cube. Yeah, it's a 3D sky stuff. There's a couple other changes. I can't remember if I made Bedrock look better. I used the Bedrock Tweaks website to design a resource pack to them. So big shout out to that website. Super useful. I definitely recommend it. They have all sorts of cool things. You could get retro texture packs, like use old textures. You could also get useful HUD switches like this, or HUD. Like I also have dark mode set for the server on this, and just overall it's really nice. But I got off track. So then we have this iron farm here. We have a flawed poppy. Well, no, it's not. It actually seems to be working now. We bone meal all the poppies, making use of a item filter. A very, very terrible item filter. I'm not even gonna try and defend that. And then all of the iron, and the occasional bit of string, apparently. And poppies, because, like I said, it's not the best. Let's see. I'll go into these leftover chests, and that's a lot of iron. Let's see here, that's 6 stacks of iron blocks per full double chest. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 36. That's 40 stacks of iron blocks. That's a ton. But yeah, using these guys, I was able to get some ridiculously broken items. I have the admin's blade, long striker, the god bow, which, side note, it's almost certainly the most important thing to have if you can get it, because like literally nothing's a challenge. You can Oko almost anything in any normal mob in the game. There are some exceptions. What? This doesn't make sense. There's no way for this thing to have spawned. I don't. How do you exist? Why is Spider? I was able to get Godbow, super cool. Noko, practically anything. Which actually, that's a perfect transition into another of the changes. I'm sorry for this first portion of the episode to be so what is this chunk lighting? To be so like updates. It's kind of necessary though. There you go. That should fix it. Because otherwise you guys would likely just be completely lost. Because there have been a lot of changes. But one of those is I finally got the mob heads and mini blocks add-ons provided by Foxy No Tail uploaded to the server. They have some cool properties. They don't function like the vanilla tweaks one. But they're super cool. They're great for decoration. I actually got a pretty good variety. Most of them are villagers or mob heads, but I actually have a couple rare ones like the blaze head, the glow squid, and the wither head. So these are obtained from mob heads are obtained from killing mobs. Kind of obviously. They have a rare drop chance, except for certain ones which are guaranteed, such as the wither and villagers. So here, but yeah, you can place them down. Mini blocks are obtained from trading with the wandering traders. And yeah, that about sums it up. I can now use those in decoration. And this is one of the more recent versions of the plugin. So with dyes, you can actually control the blocks. I believe you can nudge them, rotate them, make them bigger, smaller, etc., etc. I'll have to set up a control box, get a shulker box full of the different controls for those. We actually have the armor stand plugin on, which allows custom armor stands as well. Single player sleep, which is useful. And yeah, that's the majority of it. Which actually brings me to one thing you may have noticed, got the invulnerable wither head, which means, yeah, I killed the wither. And I can actually do it again too, as when I finally, after getting this stupidly broken armor, I went back into the nether. I fought a raid, by the way. It was very rough because that was before the diamond armor. But I got a totem. So taking the totem and my really good gear into the nether, I tracked down the fortress and managed to get more blaze rods than I will likely ever need, as well as 6 wither skulls, and I used 3 of them on a wither fight, which I stupidly didn't record, but I was actually smart during the fight, and I didn't try and fight it above ground, which is a good way to die if you are not prepared. Life lesson, kids. If you're gonna fight a 3-headed giant monster that shoots explosive skulls from its mouth, always do it underground in a safe, enclosed environment. Yeah, after that, I went mining. I went mining before the wither fight, which I don't have a time lapse of mining. Use Silk Touch, and I have to gather the ores, and I had a time lapse of destroying and harvesting all the minerals I got. So I'm gonna play that right now. So that was a lot of resources that helped out. As you see, I have a really good, really full valuables chest. A little lacking on diamonds, but everything else is good. It only makes sense for me now to continue on and start today's episode in full, really. So let's just quick get the sign, get another label up here. Boom, boom. And boom, boom. All right. That's also looking pretty impressive for amount of resources. And I got a fair amount of enchanted books I can use. Should I ever lose my armor? Protection might be a pain to get back, but then we have this, which is a lot of tinted glass. This is the last update thing, which I gathered from trading glass with my villagers, and using seedmap.com, I found a double geode. So if we go down here, this will drop us into the first geode, and then it's a 10-block walk to the next geode. And these are almost always, what's really great is these are loaded whenever I'm at AFK at the iron farm. So I could use this, I believe it was 4 separate AFK sessions of iron and amethyst. I actually did it before in school. I just left the computer running overnight. When I got up, harvested all the amethyst, which is really tedious. I should add. Then left it running while I was going about my day, and then I came back, harvested all the amethyst, left it run overnight, and etc. Which, tedious though it might be, an excellent source of tinted glass it was. So it was all worth it in the end. Because this tinted glass is going to be instrumental in my next phase of my base, which currently I don't have one. And that is okay, because I decided I'm not making a starter base. I don't need one, too much work. I'm just going to go straight on to my mega base, and I mean mega. Let me explain my plan. So first of all, this village is going to be wiped off the face of the earth eventually. Right now it's fine. But my vision is to have a giant mountain range sprawling all the way up and around. And I'm going to have a base that's heavily inspired by Ben 10, actually, which was a really good show of Cartoon Networks. Had a good classic series. Had an amazing first 2 seasons of its follow-up series. Dipped off season 3 and got exponentially worse as the series goes on. I guess since I've gotten started in a little review, 7 out of 10 as a total. Really good show. I highly advise you watch. Anywho, there was a group of secret agents called plumbers, and they had a base, secret base located inside Mount Hush. So my idea is to create a mountain range going across here, put on, of course, the face of yours truly, my skins, and maybe even some references to different shows. And behind those faces will be a massive cave base with my secret hideout. And then I'm thinking would be really cool is have a little town or city sprawling out in this area. I'll get my farms cleaned up. I'll move their stuff, like I'll make a proper wool farm, proper cow farm, proper storage for my horses, and all of that good stuff. But to do that, I'm going to need a lot of stone. So, obviously, the next step is to create a gold farm. No, I'm not kidding you. A gold farm is actually our next step, and let me explain why. So, like I mentioned, I'm going to need a ton of stone for the mountain. And I already have a lot. Like, I have a full double chest here, some here, a good amount here, and very little amount here. And I have a haste 2 beacon, which means I can instant mine stone. In theory, collecting a lot of it. But I don't want to work for it, and I don't have a lot of free time. So, I'm going to make a stone farm. The problem with those is that, okay, so they're super simple to make, right? And even if this was like in Java Edition, where I could make TNT dupers and make it completely automatic, that wouldn't work because I don't want cobblestone, I need stone. And naturally, those are manual harvest. You mine a stone, it gets regenerated, pushed across, you mine it again, etc., etc. Just sit there with your pickaxe, swinging away all day long. Problem is, that takes durability off your pickaxe, and eventually your pickaxe will break. And there are 2 ways that you could deal with this. One is have a system that will replenish you with Silk Touch Efficiency 5 diamond pickaxes whenever they break, which sounds expensive, or you make a massive gold farm, which will generate, for one, a lot of gold you could then trade with piglins or barter with piglins with. But the main thing I'm interested in here is the experience, and that experience could be used to constantly repair my pickaxe. Let me show you what I'm thinking of. And here we are on the magical testing world. Ignore the, first of all, not that populated yet, and ignore the chaotic jumble over there. That was from me experimenting with a world edit plugin, which I may incorporate in the future to help with my testing builds. But this is my planned build. A massive portal ticking gold farm, which uses, I believe, if my math isn't incorrect, 18 portals constantly turning on and off to generate a massive amount of piglins that'll get shoved into this hole into a trident killer, which will have about 4 tridents in it to ensure maximum speed. Could add more, and then essentially we just click on the farm and click on that, and you'll notice immediately we're getting pigmen, and a lot of them, like a surprising, like a large amount. Each of these piglin will provide a lot of XP to repair my pickaxe, which, speaking of, if I were to get a if I were to say enchant efficiency 5/enchant unbreaking 3/enchant all mending and /enchant all basic touch, I could then go to game mode 0 and enter in here and then just start mining. Go up to this point and then just hold down trigger, and you'll notice my XP bar is going up and my pickaxe is constantly being repaired. And I'm harvesting a lot of stone. Likely I'll use a better system collection method, probably using minecart hoppers, but using this I'm able to gather a lot of stone infinitely, and then I'll probably use a better system. I'm also able to collect a lot of gold. My item filter was broken due to me being stupid at the point, and then even if I don't need it, I can just stay here and collect experience. So it's an XP farm, it's a stone farm, it's a gold farm. It's just awesome. However, the downside is it's going to require some resources. Let's go back to creative. Obviously, the biggest problem is the large amount of obsidian we need, and then the building block for choice, which I'm making this harder myself, but I want it to be glass, because glass allows you to see the pigmen go through, and it's just a great visual. Also, side note, I'm thinking if I get the capability to do third-person time-lapse, sitting right here and watching all the pigmen flow, which, just so I can get an actual idea for, I'm going to turn the farm back on. And, but yeah, can you just imagine a time-lapse of this, all speeding down to their deaths? I don't know. I just think that's really cool. But it'll require a lot of glass ore, which is why I got tinted glass. So obsidian and glass are our main materials. My idea is I'm going to build this part sticking above ground, and then do the rest of this underground, so that it's not a massive building that I'll need to construct to hide this. It actually, because if only this is above ground, that should be fairly easy to construct. Maybe have a glass window here though, so you can still see all the pigment go down. I don't know. But anywho, this will be the main design, and yeah, we're gonna need a lot of. I'm gonna turn this off once more. We're gonna need a lot of glass, a lot of obsidian, a fair amount of blocks, some redstone supplies. And yeah, it's gonna be a relatively big build, but I think we're gonna get started on it today. And I actually have a notepad with with the main things I'm gonna need. 19.5 stacks of obsidian is a big one, as well as about 29 stacks of tinted glass. That one I already got done. And then 126 observers. So this is the plan. Now I'm gonna jump back to the Beyond SMP, and we're gonna work on getting it done. So we need a lot of obsidian, and what is the best way to get obsidian? Well, it is the end. The end is a great source of obsidian. You can mine down the towers. It's relatively easy. It's not as stressful as mining it in lava lakes. Let's see here. And overall, it's just a good choice in general. Plus, you gotta take out the Ender Dragon at some point, so might as well do it now. Alright. Alright. To do. Alright. Yes. Alright. So it's this way and this way. Oh my gosh. That's it right there. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. It's literally, oh, okay, it's not as cool as I thought it was. I thought it was like literally melted into the mountaintop, but nope. Just go in here. Ooh, lavender pearl. I don't. I think. Oh gosh, I'm not gonna kill it. I'm not gonna deal with this. You could have theoretically made it. Okay, that's perfect. Perfect amount of for next XP for. But honestly, I mean, I don't know what I was thinking because we're literally working on making. We're doing this whole thing to make a gold farm. So I mean, yeah. Let's put all of this important stuff away. I'm gonna keep the trident and the boots in there in case I need to make a hasty exit. Anyway, this is set here, so I don't leave my horse. And that is a bit of a scary spawn, just because I don't want to immediately get pelted into the void. Whenever I respawn, I'm just going to do that. Then bridge up, or dig up. And then, there are a couple ways we can tackle this here. First of all, alright, and I think we're literally, the best plan is just brute force it. Because it's a sharpness 5. But, you know what? Oh my god, that is so loud. I need to get out the center so that when if it shoots a fireball at so loud. Watch this. Come here. Okay, one more go around. Should be enough. Boom. Just like that. Was that even a challenge? No, it's not. That was a piece of cake. And now, I don't know what I was doing there. And now we have a dragon egg. And a very angry owner. And then gateway. And, theoretically, if we wanted, we have a free Ender Dragon respawn, because all we need to do is push these crystals back into place, which I honestly think would be really cool. Like, develop a system that could respawn the Ender Dragon immediately. Anyway, I'm overcomplicating things. What I really want to do is just take believe you should be able to, if you're good, talented like me, if you have perfect aim, come on, first try. First try. First try. First try. Definitely, 100%. Now, you can just mine this pillar down. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Alright, cue the time lapse. Wow. That took a while. As you can see, we got the farms completely done. Portals, lighting mechanisms, deactivating mechanisms, and all. And you didn't see everything in the time lapse due to a problem known as real life sucks. My computer currently didn't have enough storage to store a file containing the entire raw footage of the time lapse. So you missed out on a whole half of the farm. This up here, this was the easy part. Well, excluding the gathering the obsidian. This down here, this area, took probably another 2+ hours of work. Like the top part, that was like maybe an hour or two. Down here, maybe more so. So what we got a nice storage system for here, an AFK spot where you can store any valuables you don't want to lose by potentially dying. You have sections for the nuggets from the farm, the ingots from the farm, and because of course we have the mob head add-on, We have a slot just for zombie pigment heads. And then we have 9 whole slots dedicated entirely to stone, which might seem odd because you don't get stone from a gold farm. And you are right, you don't. However, you do get stone, believe it or not, from a stone farm. Yeah, all of this massive, giant portal farm, this underground complex, it's just for this. This tiny, standard stone generator, step on the pressure plate, break blocks, collect stone. However, the problem with those is your pickaxe obviously runs out of durability, and that's what this entire thing's for. You got a trident killer down there. Got this auto sorting system back there, which I believe I mentioned. I have actually AFK here overnight to give it a test, as you can definitely tell once I reveal how many levels I have. 338. That's, if I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure that's the most I've ever had legitimately in survival Minecraft. But yeah, we do have a fair amount of stone here. I didn't AFK with the stone part simply due to a couple quirks I was working out, but I AFK'd with gold. I actually removed everything from the system. There's like some stuff left over. This is complete trivial amounts of gold compared to what's left in the overall system. Under these chests, we have crafting tables, which allows for auto crafting, which makes it a lot easier to utilize the gold. Turn it into ingots, turn the ingots into blocks, and that is 100% necessary when you see how much gold I got. And then I also got a fair amount of the mob heads, which I'll show you there. So then you just come up through the bubble column. Those trapdoors are to make sure that something really unlucky doesn't happen, like a creeper wanders into the bubble column and somehow pathfinds to me, blows up the system, and releases a wave of zombie pigmen on me, killing me and losing all my stuff. But yeah, as for stuff, you'll notice we have a new chest here specifically for gold. Mini blocks. We got a ton of zombie piglin heads, like an absolute large, like absurd quantity. And then we have the gold, a lot of gold, specifically around 17,000 ingots of gold, which yeah, it's a fair amount, just a little bit, and that was just from one night of AFK as well. Imagine if I were to AFK for like a week. Like, my storage system literally could not handle that. All of these chests were filled, all of these chests, and every chest up to this one was filled, and this one had like 3 rows filled in gold nuggets. Like, it's just insane the amount that this pumps out. So yeah, this was a massive project. Could we just take a step back and say this is an insane amount of progress for episode 2 of the series? I mean, episode 1, let's see, what did we do? We get here, we got iron armor, and we went we went mining. And the time between that episode and the episode here, we got super speed horses, basic animal farms, an iron farm, a mediocre trading hall, and a massive industrial gold farm. How, not to mention god armor. I mean, how crazy is that? Like, it's really difficult to believe the massive jump we've gotten here. Okay. Side note, I don't think I mentioned this. This is how you get mini blocks. For the add-on, you trade with these guys. And I'm actually gonna quick grab some of those furnaces. And luckily it didn't despawn, which has happened to me on many occasions. Alright. Cartography Furnace. This thing. Any cool things? I don't need pods though, I have plenty of Nautilus shells. I guess red sand's neat, but I don't know what I do with it. I guess I'll take some, it's cheap. And thank you for trading me, sir. Now, if you don't mind, I have a little something I have to do. And that's what I call bartering, like a pre-17th century United States person. That's a joke. Should take it as a joke. I don't even think the US was formed at that point. No, I'm just gonna cut that. Let's see. Some of these new cool blocks. We have 48 furnace mini blocks. That's actually kind of crazy. That is actually all the time I have for this episode. It ran pretty long, I think. I don't know what it's going to be shortened to, but it's going to be real fun editing this one. I have like 4 or 5 time lapses I need to do, edit, and I have to trim down several hours of footage. But hopefully, if you made it this far, you'll know how it turned out. And how about this? Let me know in the comments if you think the editing turned out good. I can't wait to start working on some more of our projects. And once again, if you'd like to join the Beyond SMP, as it is free to join, just click on the link in the description below, fill out the application, and we'll see if you can come on and play. Have a good one, everyone. May your sword stay sharp. Bye.